Hello everyone, get ready for some trending new info in your quest for knowledge. Which fictional character never fails to piss you off? Percy Wetmore, that sniveling, sadistic witch of a prison guard who didn't wet the sponge during the execution in the Green Mile. The guy who played him turned into quite a freak show in real life too. Details? He married a 16-year-old. Umbridge. The lesson I learned from that character, as a writer, is that audiences respond much more viscerally to unfairness than they do to straight-up evil. Voldemort kills people, but he's not on this list. Umbridge abuses her power and changes the rules and is just plain unfair, and she's at the top of the list. Manny from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Duck and I'm Only Fwee-Looking Clitoris. Remember that one time the family almost froze to death and were left without food simply because Manny didn't learn how to tie his shoes? And there was another one where they thought the thermostat was broken, but all the switches were off except for his room. That was the same time. Mr. Poe from Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. He's not exactly the villain, but God is he useless. Him and the other adults who don't believe the Baudelaire children for some stupid reasons. Theory: the adults did know the children were telling the truth after a while but realized that everyone who acknowledged it had died, so instead they pretended to be complete idiots. Or they were just complete idiots. Ramsay Bolton and, of course, Caillou. Both equally awful human beings. But admit it, a crossover episode would be hilarious. I'd watch Caillou get eaten by dogs. That Trunchbull lady from Matilda. Oh, but Pam Ferris was so good in that role. She was also Aunt Marge in Harry Potter. Another pretty awful character. Never realized she played Aunt Marge. Strangely enough, Ralph Fiennes, Voldemort, is going to be playing Miss Trunchbull in the upcoming Netflix remake. Effing Joffrey Baratheon. I started watching long after the series ended. I kept asking my friend who loaned me the DVD, when is Joffrey going to get what's coming to him? I hope the actor's excellent portrayal didn't ruin his career. I remember listening to the DVD commentaries on early seasons, and whenever Joffrey appeared, whoever was doing the commentary would break off from whatever they were talking about to say, "And this is Jack, such a lovely guy, smokes a pipe, nothing whatsoever like Joffrey, we all love him, and he would totally never murder a sex worker with a crossbow in real life." Like, they really wanted to impress on everyone listening that Jack Gleason isn't Joffrey. Greg Heffley. You only realize what an anus he is when you become older. The books make me feel so bad for Rolly. He's just some poor kid who wants to be a good friend, and Greg just abuses his loyalty and kindness to get whatever he wants. Scrappy Doo. I loathed him as kid. I loved the reference to him in Scooby-Doo, Mystery Incorporated. There's a wax statue of him in the Hall of Villains the gang has unmasked. Daffy is creeped out by it and Fred tells her to look away and that they agreed to never discuss it again. It keeps Scrappy in the lore as a horrible thing that the gang just wants to forget about entirely. Bella from Twilight. This runt moved to a town where everyone wanted to be her friend and be nice to her, and she blew everyone off for a sparkly MF and his cringe family. I loved that movie when I was younger, but if you look at it from someone else's perspective, you'd understand why she had no friends before. Harsh but necessary. Dora the Explorer. It's right in front of your freaking face, stop effing asking me where it is. Hate to tell you guys, but she's not a real explorer if everywhere she goes is Mayped. Bella Swan. She's got the wit and personality of wet cardboard, yet everybody bends over backwards to protect her stupid donkey. Brew the paper cut scene in the second movie pissed me off. No one bleeds like that, sis is always freaking bleeding. Jerry from Tom and Jerry. Some of you may not know this, but over the course of the series, you can slowly see that little mouse effer drive Tom insane, even to the point of suicide. He plays the ducking victim all the time. The worst part is, rarely anyone takes Tom's side. No one in the cartoon is able to see that Jerry is a effing snake. I always thought Jerry was kind of a witch low-key. Jerry has that same crap-eating grin all little kids whose parents never discipline them have, and it grinds me on a physical level. Olivia Colman's character in Fleabag. She didn't even have to finish her first sentence in a scene and I'd already be pissed off. The absolute worst. That role was written, performed so perfectly. She's awful. It's not a specific character, it's more of a trope. I always get pissed off whenever I see the loser character. Examples would be Ernie from George Lopez, Meg from Family Guy, Klaus from American Dad, Toby from The Office, etc. These type of characters often get treated like crap and most of the time they don't deserve it. Unlike a character like Squidward, who is a loser but acts like he's God's gift to the world, none of these characters are arrogant, narcissistic, or even egotistical. I feel that they are treated the way they are because of sadistic writers enjoy torturing characters in the shows they work for. The Jerry/Gary/Larry Gergich abuse was the worst part about Parks and Rec. Kai Wynn from Deep Space Nine. That role is acted and written so perfectly. It's the same actress who played Nurse Ratched in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Louise Fletcher, who was also great in that role. Umbridge before Harry Potter came out. Wynn is the embodiment of lawful evil and personal ambition wrapped in a package that is supposed to be good beyond all measure. Interesting literary parallels between Wynn and some historic Catholic popes though. What would have been your answer or question? Leave it in the comments below. Slap that like and subscribe button for more, and check out the link in the video description for even more answers. Peace out, and catch you in the next video.